Aruba's BBO tax will soon be increased by 1%. All goods and services purchased will have a 2.5% tax charged on top of total. Plus, in today's lifestyle segment, we'll find out what is so damaging about sunshine and UV rays. And media outlets come together on the island to collect school supplies for kids in low-income families. 15 on 15 starts right now. Thank you for watching. I'm Yentl Lieuw. Soon, all the goods and services being purchased on the island will require a 2.5% BBO tax instead of 1.5%. AZV is in need of more funding due to the government lowering their financial help towards AZV. A health tax is being introduced by AZV. The island's general health insurance receives money from premiums as well. They are entitled to a sum of financial help from the government. But this total is not sufficient, especially with the government's decision to lower the financial help to AZV. Therefore, a health tax is being introduced on the island. The health tax was chosen over workers' premiums being raised. Employees' premiums was just raised in January, so the decision has been made to make the current BBO 2.5% instead of 1.5%. This way, workers are not discriminated against, and the burden is not again on the employees of Aruba. Everyone purchasing goods and services will have to pay this 1% increase, including tourists as well as those on the island who are working illegally. There is yet to be confirmation as to when exactly the BBO will be raised. The private sector and the labor unions are in agreement with the raising of BBO instead of premiums. Now, within the last few weeks, the police force has conducted several presentations for groups and organizations hosting events for children during their summer vacation. The purpose of the police involvement during summer activities is for the students to understand the work of the police. During one of the police presentations, the students had the opportunity to take a look at the K9 units. In one particular session, the canines were taken to the beach so they could give out special presentations to the kids to show them how effective the canine dogs are used to find missing people or fugitives. The police explained to the kids that the dogs also help to ease any aggressive or dangerous suspects. The two canines interacting with the kids at the beach were named Zoe and Vito. During this session, the pooches made dozens of new friends at the beach since all the children were impressed and enthusiastic with everything the canines were capable of doing. The police force is convinced that the children will slowly be more aware of the police work and the security they bring forth within the community. The ultimate goal of these presentations are to encourage the children to be interested in pursuing a career with the police force when they grow up. Speaking of children, the early language development stages takes place when a child is young. Eventually, linguistics progress takes place throughout the course of school years. A linguistics professor from the University of Puerto Rico conducted a study with several other experts in Central Asia who found out forcing the language on students is the least effective way to get them interested in a language as well to learn the language. A study on the Dutch language in Southeast Asia ultimately impacts Aruba. There is direct link between attitude and performance.
If we don't teach Dutch the right way, if we force it on the students, we are going to end up with the same problem as we have in Puerto Rico, where the students are going to start to hate Dutch. They become adults, they have children, and that hatred towards Dutch is going to continue. We don't want the students to hate Dutch. We want the students to love Dutch. But the problem is, if we force them to learn Dutch in the school, we try to make them learn Dutch as a first language or a second language, then we're failing, and we're turning, we're not only failing in terms of how they perform in Dutch, we're also failing in terms of their attitudes towards Dutch.
We will have further results from the study on Tuesday night. Now, when we come back, we'll explain how the sun damages the skin and what should people who live on the island be more aware of when it comes to UV rays. Also, think about how you brush your teeth during the break, left to right or up and down. You'll find out why next. And there is a link to kids taking music lessons and reading. All those topics and much more coming up right after the break. So stay with us. Welcome back from the break. We all know that too much exposure to the sun can cause skin cancer. For those who live on the island, it is very important to fully understand why this is so. What makes the sunshine cause cancer? Too much of the sun's UV ray can damage our skin's DNA, causing some parts to literally glue together and malfunction. If this happens over and over again, this could lead to cancer. Getting even one blistering sunburn significantly increases a person's risk of developing melanoma, which is the deadliest form of skin cancer. Here are some tips. Avoid midday sun, lather up sunscreen frequently, wear hats or swim shirts or other protective clothing. Go to a dermatologist every year to get checked up. If you grew up spending time in the sun, don't panic, but keep a lookout for changes in the skin. Also, sunbeds are not safe. These beds are popular amongst young people, and research finds they are starting to develop melanoma from tanning beds. Here's a question for you. How do you brush your teeth, and how do you know you are doing it the right way? Well, it turns out no one, not even dentists or experts, really know what the proper way is to brushing your teeth. A new study finds that there has been no agreement on whether the best techniques are for brushing teeth. The most commonly recommended toothbrushing method involved a horizontal brush movement with some circular motions, but 6 different toothbrushing techniques were recommended by dentists, with no one method favored. Some involving angling the brush at 45 degrees, other involved vertical brush movements. Most of the advice suggests brushing your teeth twice a day, but one source said it should be 3 times daily. When it comes to how long, 26 sources say 2 minutes, while others say 3 minutes. The study says that the wide diversity in recommendations for something that is done twice a day should be of serious concern to the dental profession. Parents may want to consider putting their children in singing or music lessons, since musical training can improve language and reading. For kids to have regular music lessons improves the brain's ability to read and respond to sounds, the study suggests. Learning to sing or play a musical instrument can help disadvantaged children improve their reading skills. After a year of music lessons, the reading scores of 9 and 10-year-olds held steady compared to a dip seen in those who were not taught any music. Another group of musically trained children were found to be better at processing sounds as well language. It has been proven before that learning music could improve the concentration, memory, and focus of children in the classroom by improving their neural functions. Let's take a very quick break. This is what's coming up next. Over the weekend, various media outlets, including ATV, came together for one cause. Parents know how costly back-to-school materials can be. For a 3rd year in a row, a radiothon was held to raise enough school supplies for low-income families who are on the list of Fundación para Nos Comunidad. The radiothon began on Friday night at 6 p.m. The radiothon was hosted at Palm Beach Plaza. For 27 hours straight, people within the community donated any way they can for kids in low-income families. The cause is especially worthy in this case because an effort was made to fact-check where the money is going to for good use.
Well, this is the 3rd year that Caliente has this initiative that we started to gather or collecting goods for school, for kids, for the less fortunate kids from Fundación para Nos Comunidad. They approached us like 3 years ago and they told us about a little bit about their story. Around 250 families are in need on the island. These are families that have been, let's say, reviewed, so the people go and they really check them if it's true. So that we like to make this point very clear because a lot of people sometimes they said, okay, I want to contribute, but I'm not sure where is my money going. These people are really in need.
On top of the many expenses parents already have, back to school can become a real headache for many families who can't afford school supplies. Providing families in need with materials for education is a practical way to give back to the community.
Well, as a parent, we know how expensive it is. I have a child, she's just 4 years old, so I don't even have to buy all the school supplies. So imagine parents that have 2 or 3 children, it is really expensive. And if you go, let's say, yesterday we were buying goods and we saw like one agenda is 50 florins. Where are we going to with those prices? So it's really a good cause, and we hope that the community contributes more. So even if today they didn't make it to come, they can reach out to Fundación para Nos Comunidad anytime and just make a donation there.
ATV's Pulso Latino with Alejandra Forero, along with 3 radio stations on the island, were the driving forces behind this charitable act. Since each media outlet caters to a different market, people from all over the community donated. This collaboration reached an extremely diverse audience.
Well, something that makes us really happy this year, as the 3rd year in the road that we're doing it. This year we have Cool FM, we have Fresh FM, and we have Channel 15. We are very happy because this is integration at its best. We are a Latino radio station. We have Cool FM, which caters mostly to locals, and then we have Fresh FM, which is for people mostly speaking Dutch, so Dutch people. We're very happy because the amount of people from the community which have come to support this event are from every end, you know. So it is really good that people can actually come together to join one cause, which is for greater good.
That is all the time we have for today. Be sure to tune back in on Tuesday night starting at 7:15 p.m. right here on Channel 15 ATV for all the latest in lifestyle topics and for the latest on the island. We'll see you then.